Of age, tail of the tape, 2-inch height differential. Shaq's turned pro 4 years ago. This will be the 10th professional bout for Ramos, only his second in the United States. To the ring, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents Fox PBC Fight Night Prelims, and it's all brought to you by MGM Resorts and Brooklyn Boxing. Introducing to you our three judges scoring this bout from ringside, we have Kermit Bayless, Tim Cheatham, and Eric Cheek. All right, fans, here we go. 4 rounds of boxing scheduled. Welterweights in the ring. Introducing to you first, fighting out of corner. Wearing green and white patterned trunks, he joins us from Lansing, Michigan. Weighing in at 141 1/4 pounds. His record is even up with 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, with all 3 wins coming by way of knockout, known as Game Bred. Introducing Kevin Shax. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with red trim, hailing from Casa Grande, Arizona. He weighed in at 143 1/2 pounds with a sensational record of 9 wins, no losses, and all 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the undefeated Jesus Mono Ramos. And introducing our third man to the ring, the referee in charge is Vic Draculich.
All right, gentlemen, this fight's scheduled for 8 rounds. You've received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punches below this point will be called low. Golpes debajo de este punto ser llamado bajo. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Obedezca mis comandos y protegerse a sí mismo siempre. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you. Tóquenlos. Buena suerte, ambos.
Closed captioning is available for tonight's telecast, and if you would like to hear the broadcast in Spanish, click over to the simulcast on Fox Deportes. Jesus Ramos, unbeaten in 9 professional bouts, up against Kevin Shax, underway from the Mandalay Bay.
Well, let's get something straight right now. Nobody's has gotten out of the second round against Jose Ramos. So, you know, it's if Shax makes it out of the second round, he's going to be the first guy to do it in 10 fights.
Ramos with 4 knockouts in the first round, Lennox, and the other 5 coming in the second round.
Looking at both fighters, there's no sweat on them, so they're going to take at least half a round to get warmed up, to get a little sweat on them so they can throw their punches with more accuracy.
Shax did tell us yesterday his strongest round is usually the second round. He hoped to get off to a faster start here today against Ramos.
Shaq is getting off to a fast start.
Yeah, he is, and I stand corrected. Jesus Ramos in the black and red trunks. I watched a little bit of tape because most of his fights were in Mexico. This is his second fight in the United States because he just turned 18. So he had quite a few of his first starts in Mexico, and his right hook is really the punch to look for.
He's from Casa Grande, Arizona, but his first 8 pro bouts took place down in Mexico.
Yeah, of course, you have to be 18 years old to fight in California, and most of the time everywhere else. But in Mexico, you can fight pro at 16, 17, and that's what he chose to do.
He's got really good power. He's been working on his strength for training camp, and you can see the power punches he's throwing. Every punch he's throwing is basically a power punch.
In the meantime, Shax has been keeping his hands up very well, and he landed a real nice left hook to the body against Ramos, about 10, 15 seconds ago. So, he's being slick. He's trying not to get hit with anything big early. He's moving his head well.
Oh, big left by Ramos.
There's that hook that Ramos likes so much. And, of course, Ramos is the nephew of Abel Ramos, who we saw fight back, I believe, in April against Francisco Santana in a barn burner. It was a very close fight.
And he has sparred with his uncle for the last 3 years.
Ooh.
Let me tell you, Ramos throws that left hook.
The right hook.
Right hook, really, really good.
And see, that's his strong punch, and he has Shaq's complaint.
No, he throws the left hook as well.
Yeah, but that was the one that landed was a right hook to the body. He landed it twice.
But a lot of power behind it.
A look at the punches landed, 3-1 margin for Jesus Ramos.
His hands up, but, you know.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a lot of time either. You know, this is a 4-round fight, if I'm not mistaken. And this, he's got to do something. He's got to win one of these rounds. But he's done what half the guys couldn't do, and that's get out of the first round.
And, guys, Shaq is facing a southpaw for the first time in his professional career. So what adjustments, Joe, does Shaq have to make?
You see what he's doing. His corner told him he's got to put some pressure on and start throwing some punches, and that's what he's doing right now. You can't just get backed up in a short fight like this. Sometimes you got to assert yourself and land some of your own punches, get some respect from your opponent.
Right, and Shaq needs to be throwing some combinations. He's basically throwing one punch at a time, and that's not good.
Well, and that right hand just landed from him, so, you know, it's better than doing nothing. You're right, though. But, again, you're taking a chance throwing – there it is. There is a good left hook right hand. So he's taking your advice right there. He's putting some punches together. Ramos is keeping his – oh, right there was a nice counter by Shaq. Again.
Yeah, in that situation, Shaq needs to give himself a little bit more room and push Ramos out of the way.
Well, you know, Ramos actually, most of his knockouts come from a little bit of distance, so he may be smarter to kind of smother Ramos a little bit because he got up some nice little uppercuts on the inside there. So let's see what happens.
And remember, all 9 of his knockouts, all 9 of his fights have ended in the first 2 rounds. Joe, I know you were intrigued by Shaq's record of 3-3-3 with 3 knockouts.
Right, yeah. Well, in Vegas, that would be called a
3 of a kind?
4 of a kind.
Oh, okay.
Right? But, you know, in boxing, it doesn't really look good as a
Ramos
record.
is cut right now.
Yeah, he certainly is because they've been banging heads on the inside. But I got to tell you, Shaq is not looking like a 3-3-3 fighter right now.
Blood coming down under the right eye of Jesus Ramos. How do we know? Is the light on? Final minute of round 2, scheduled for 4.
Shaq needs to move that head a little bit more and give Ramos some more angles. Ramos is moving his head well.
Yeah, he is. But, you know, I told you, Shaq's the type of guy that likes to keep his hands up. The closer the action get, he puts them up. He looks to counter off the touch. So if you touch him, he's going to counter off those high hands. Look, he landed a nice right hand there off of Ramos.
Blood continues to come down from under the right eye of Jesus Ramos. Final seconds, round 2 in Las Vegas.
Oh. Beyond the point of when it happened. But it was definitely from a headbutt.
Look at the punches landed, punches thrown, body shots. Who has the advantage in your mind, Lennox, over the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, Ramos has the advantage. He's doing a lot of things right. He's moving, he's punching in combination, and he's not really getting hit that much. And he's definitely throwing different angles.
Yeah, Shaq, you know, I got to give credit where credit due. Shaq's has, you know, been able to land a few straight right hands and a few little short shots on the inside. And, of course, you know, he's putting pressure on. He's not making it easy for Ramos. I think Jesus is going to have to step up and land something very hard and throw a few combinations himself right now. He's really relying on 1 or 2 punches.
Ramos fighting past the 2nd round for the first time in his professional career in 10 pro bouts.
See that? See right there, Ramos is looking to load up on a counter punch here, but Shaq's looking to do the same thing. There's that right hand, but now Ramos has got to come off that right hand and counter himself with his own left hand. There's a big, hard, sweeping left hand. You can tell the power behind Ramos's punches.
Yeah, Ramos is winding up a little bit. Shaq could take advantage of that by catching him first and throwing a straighter punch.
And that's what he's been doing. That's been the one punch he's been landing, Lewis. Yeah. Ooh.
Ramos is throwing some brilliant punches to the body and head.
Took an accidental headbutt from Shax back in round 2. Shax out of Lansing, Michigan. He was a high school football player. Told us basketball was his first love.
Oh.
That was a beautiful right hook. And that buzzed him. And then he hit him with the left hand, straight left hand right afterwards. Now this is where Ramos has got to finish him because Shax is in this fight. He's being very tough tonight. This is probably the toughest guy that Ramos has fought.
But Shax is taking unnecessary punches. He needs to move that head a little bit, shows different angles. Right now his head's in one position, and he's just putting his hands up. Once you put your hands up, then Ramos is going right down to the stomach, and then he's coming back down to the head.
That's a good point, Lennox. It really is. Because I got to tell you, Shax was countering off those high hands, and he's really stopped doing it right now.
15 seconds remaining in round 3, scheduled for 4.
Oh, another big right hook. There you
nice
go.
left by Ramos.
Boy, but Shaq came back with a nice right hand, left hook.
And actual referees who have worked big-time fights act as the replay officials.
This is the last round here, and I got Ramos ahead right now. But you know, if Shax has a big round, you know, you never know what the judges are thinking. But Ramos had Shax reeling in that last round. He hurt him 2 times with 2 big right hooks. And Shax's corner told him, "Look, don't just back up straight like that. That's where you're getting hit." He goes, "Once you get on the inside, make your pivot out to the side." But it's hard to get away from Ramos. He's got those long arms, and he's really coming on strong.
Yeah, and he's throwing some good hooks.
All right, so Vic Draculich, the referee, just warned Ramos for pushing off with his gloves. And he said he'd take a point if he did it again. And he doesn't really need to do that.
Yeah, Ramos is doing the right thing. When a man's got his hands up and you can't hit him on the head, hit him to the body. Bring the hands down, then go back up to the head.
Well, those body shots are really getting to Shax right now. And you're right.
Yeah.
Because he followed up to the head, and you know, Shax is giving the expression that he's really starting to fade right now.
Well, Shax is a little bit tired, but he should be punching after Ramos starts punching.
Midway through the 4th and final round.
Now you got to remember, Ramos just turned 18. I mean, he was 17 a few months ago, so he's a big, strong kid who's going to grow into a big, strong man.
Well, yeah, he's pot-shotting right now.
Ooh, even though Shax landed that right hand, it didn't bother Ramos at all, and he came back with his own chopping left hand. So he's got a good chin as well.
Shaq seems to wait for the punches to get to him. He's like, he covers up, he keeps his hands up, and then he just absorbs the punches coming at him.
Well, because I think, for the most part, he's a counterpuncher by trade, and that's his game.
He's not counterpunch. He needs to counterpunch right now.
Down to 45 seconds remaining in the 4th and final round in the welterweight division. Jesus Ramos from Casa Grande, Arizona, and Lansing, Michigan native Kevin Shax.
Shax needs to throw some hard punches now.
He just tried it. He just tried
Go for broke, like his corner said.
As he countered, he got countered.
Yeah,
and that's
this is the last round. He's only got 30 seconds left.
You're right about that. But this has been all Ramos this round. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Down to the final 10 seconds.
Well, fans, after 4 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. All 3 judges score with about 40-36. All 3 in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, Jesus Mono Ramos.
Jesus Ramos, the winner by unanimous decision. Now 10-0 in his professional career, winning all 4 rounds in the minds of our Marcos Villegas and all 3 of the judges as well.